You're early. Who says you're allowed to barge into my home any time you please? It was part of those papers I signed. Oh, the 3-foot-high stack. It would have taken me 8 weeks to read, but you wouldn't turn over my siblings until I signed them. Those papers, field specialist? Hey, what are you doing? You can't just open up cabinets and look in my trash. You can look anywhere you want. Huh, it's such malarkey. I assume that too was part of the papers you forced me to sign. Yes, you did. If I didn't sign the damn papers, you were going to keep my siblings locked up in a cell. You can't keep wares in captivity, especially werewolf pups, and you damn well know it. Did anything in that mountain of paperwork give me permission to come to your house and look through your cabinets? Of course not. Right, only mine. I should have known. What type of bear shit are you trying to pull here anyway? Hey, that's none of your business. It's in the trash. I've no idea who put it in there. It could have been any of my friends. You can't assume it's mine. No, I'm not saying my friends may indulge in behaviour like that. Well, they despise litter. Yeah, that's it. They must have found it on the sidewalk, and being upstanding citizens, they picked up the litter and threw it away once they found the nearest trash can, which just happened to be mine. Well, you can't prove otherwise, so that's my explanation. Hey now, I must insist you stay out of that. Well, pups know not to go rummaging through my cabinets, don't you? Yeah, see? Rules, bah! I'm sure they're more like guidelines, field specialist. Have some compassion. I just barely got them home. Besides, you mean to tell me you've never indulged in a little hair of the dog? Well, la-dee-da, you're a liking. That explains a few things. Your kind always look down your noses on my kind. Just because you were born human, you think you're so superior to us lupin, since we're just born as pups. Frankly, I'd trust an animal over a human any day of the week. There's no hidden agenda with an animal. What you see is what you get. Don't bother to deny it. Oh yes, of course, you're a professional. Even if you had a bias, you wouldn't allow it to affect your judgment. Would you? I want a lupin field specialist in charge of my case. Aren't I guaranteed a jury of my peers? Well, I certainly feel like I'm on trial. You barge in here, earlier than our appointment time, mind you, and rummage through my things. Accuse me of endangering my siblings just because you found a bottle of hair of the dog in my trash. Now wait just a minute. I've only had custody of them for like an hour. I haven't had time to arrange for groceries. I've been conjuring bunk beds and setting up housekeeping. I do one thing at a time, field specialist, and I do it very thoroughly. Something you would have learned by now if you hadn't looked down your nose at me and refused my offer of a good time. Something I'm sure you're beginning to regret. But now that the rugrats are here, I can't accommodate you so easily. Now, once the pack has been found and the pups are back where they belong, well, we can get as frisky as you like. Yeah, whatever. I see that gleam in your eye. Those furtive glances when you think I'm not looking. The way your cheeks pinken when you remember me and my all-togethers. Yeah, just like that. I know what you're thinking. But there's nothing to be done about it right now that the rugrats are underfoot. Speaking of pups back where they belong, have you had any luck tracking down the pack? Well, what's being done? And? What do you mean that's it? How is an all-points bulletin gonna help? They're wares. They teleport everywhere. The coppers aren't going to pull them over for speeding. So unless they get into a drunken brawl or altercation of some sort, you'll never find them that way. Arch, Ollie, go to your room for a few minutes, please. Doesn't it strike you as odd that the entire pack is missing? Well, it's never happened to me. I think that's damn strange. The coppers should be out looking for them. What am I paying taxes for if the cops aren't even willing to investigate the disappearance of an entire werewolf pack? Fredo and Stella wouldn't abandon the pups. They might try to scare them into behaving, but they wouldn't just leave them. Fredo is a first-class asshole, but he's all about the pack. He wants the biggest, strongest, most powerful pack in the council. He wouldn't risk his reputation by abandoning two of his progeny. He'd like to mount my hide to his wall for leaving his precious pack. Like I give a shit about such things. But I know he wouldn't just leave the pups, especially once they were captured by the dog catcher. He would have considered that an affront to his lineage. Yeah, fine, whatever. I see logic is meaningless to you. What about the pups? Am I allowed to take them out into the forest? Why not? They're looping. Looping need the outdoors. Once we reach adulthood, we can go for longer periods of time within the city, but not as pups. Even you, lichen, field specialist, well, you must need to shift and run wild occasionally. Well, just imagine you're locked in the body of a wolf pup, yet you're stuck indoors. It would be hellish. I'm their appointed guardian, am I not? I'm charged with their health and emotional balance, am I not? Well, I'm telling you, as their guardian, the pups need to be in the forest several hours each day. You'll go with us to ensure their safety? Oh shit, it's not what I had in mind. I don't know if that's such a good idea. Why? Because I get a distinct impression you wouldn't want me searching for the pack with the pups along for the ride. Well, among other things, I'm told I'm quite irresistible in wolf form, and we'd have the pups in tow. What if you can't control yourself? Well, that would be awkward. Don't underestimate my animal magnetism. Are you sure you can shift without the help of a full moon? I'm not insulting you. I'm merely inquiring. I have to protect the pups, and I don't need a lichen slowing me down. No, I'm not suggesting the forest is dangerous. Think about when you were a kid and Mumsy and Da took you out to the playground. I suspect they watched you closely, because no matter where they are, rugrats can find trouble. And if there isn't any trouble to be found, they'll invent some. It's part of the whole growing up experience. Me? Well, I might have put a few grey hairs on Fredo's beard. It was a lot of fun to push his buttons. Hell, still is given the right circumstances. What about you, field specialist? Didn't you cause a little trouble when you were a wee one? Of course not. What was I thinking? If your lips tried to turn upward, I'm afraid your whole face might crack. Just what would it take, field specialist, to get underneath that professional facade and see the real you? The you that comes out when you're all alone. Don't underestimate me, love. I can be very persuasive. Wolves, even lichen, have a wildness to them, field specialist. We have to let go every once in a while. Run full out in the forest at night. Dance in a stream under the stars. When was the last time you let yourself go? You've never done those things. Seriously? Like ever? Then yes, field specialist, you should accompany us into the forest. It's high time you get in touch with your wild side.